Students, we are beginning with our major paper, operating system, from this session. And before going deep into your syllabus, let's see an introduction about the operating system. As you all know, an operating system is also a program. Basically, operating system is a program that manages a computer's hardware. It provides a basis for the application programs. So basically, operating system act as an intermediary between the user and the computer hardware. So operating system basically provides or it manages the computer's hardware, and it provides an intermediary between the user and the computer hardware, so that an user can make use of any application programs in the system. But the operating systems vary in accomplishing all these tasks. For example, in a mainframe operating systems, operating systems are designed primarily to optimize utilization of hardware. So in case of mainframe operating systems, these provide the task of better utilization of the hardware. But for a personal computer, the operating systems in a personal computers should support for games or business applications or everything in between. So for these operating systems for a personal computer must support all the basic user needs. For example, it should support for the games, business applications or word processing, etc. But for a mobile phone, the operating systems for mobile phones, it basically provides an environment in which a user can easily interface with the computer to execute the programs. So in such environment, for mobile computing or for mobile phones, the operating systems in those systems should provide an environment in which an user can easily interface with the systems. He could better execute his programs or he could better work with the system. So the operating system in such mobile phones, etc., should provide an environment for easy interface of the user with the system. So basically, we know operating system provides an intermediary between the user and the hardware, and it provides a basis for all the application programs. But these tasks varies when it is used for various purposes. For example, for mainframe systems, as it is said, mainframe operating systems must concentrate. That is, it is designed primarily for maximum utilization of the hardware. But for personal computers, the operating system, the functionalities of the operating systems may vary. And of course, for mobile computing or mobile phones, the functions of these operating systems may vary, because it should provide or it must concentrate better on easy interface. It should provide an environment in which a user can easily interface with the system. So the functionalities of these operating systems may vary, as it may be used for different purposes. When we speak commonly, the operating systems are designed to be convenient and to be efficient. So these operating systems must be convenient and efficient, or it may provide the combination of these two, depending upon the purpose on which it is used. And before going to the details of the computer system operation, let's see something about the system structure. A computer system can be divided into 4 components: the computer hardware, operating system, system and application programs, and the user. So computer hardware, we know basically the central processing unit, memory unit, input output devices, all these constitutes the basic components of the computer hardware, and this forms the basic physical unit for the computer system. And so let's consider this hardware as the first component of the computer system, and the second one is the operating system, and we are learning much about the more about the operating system now. Third one is the system and application programs. We know for any user to perform any computing task with a system, he needs a software so that he could solve the computing problems using a hardware. So a mere hardware is not essential, not at all enough for solving out any computational task. To solve any computational problem, a user needs a software, and this software that the user makes use of for solving his problem is known as an application program. So there must be system and application programs. There are difference between these two, system programs and application programs. Application programs are directly used by the user. That means the application programs are ready to be used by the user. That is basically a software. Systems programs are also software, but it interacts better to the operating system, not with the user. System programs are designed better to interact with the operating system, but it is not part of that operating system. It is not a part of the operating system, but it interacts continuously with the operating system, but the user does not have any direct interaction with the system programs. It has something to do with the operating system. The system programs may be in the simpler sense, it may be used for giving status information or for file management, etc. All these tasks are performed by the system programs. And the next component is the users. So for the easy interface of the user with a computer hardware and the application program, an operating system is needed. An operating system is always needed for providing an easy interface of the user with the computer hardware. Now, what the operating systems do? As we said, the computer system contains all the hardwares, application programs, and the user. We know the hardware constitutes all the physical parts, the central processing unit, memory unit, input output devices, etc. And this forms the major computing resources for the system. And the application programs, we know, for example, word processors, spreadsheets, compilers, web browsers, all these are also, it provides a way in which the physical resources in the systems can be used to solve users' computing problems. So these application programs are the softwares, and this defines a way in which all the physical resources in a system can be used by the user in a better way for solving out his computing problems. The task of operating system is to control the hardware and to coordinate it among the various application programs for various users. So the operating system controls the hardware and it provides a basis for the execution of all the application programs that are needed by the user. So a computer system can be viewed as consisting of hardware, software and data. The operating system provides the means for proper use of all these resources in the operation of the computer system. So the operating system provides an environment within which other programs can do useful work. So to better understand the use of an operating system, operating systems can be explored from two viewpoints: user's view and the system view. The user's view of computer varies according to the interface being used. As we said earlier, it can be the operating system task or the functionalities of the operating system varies according to the situation in which it is used, or according to the computer system in which it is used. So it varies from a mainframe system to a personal computer or for a mobile phone. The operating system varies according to the purpose in which it is used. For example, in a PC, considering a personal computer, the main aim of the operating system in a personal computer is to maximize its work, maximize the work that the user is performing. So in such cases, operating system is designed mostly for ease of use, with some attention paid to the performance. But the operating system in this case need not be considered about concerned about the resource utilization, because all the resources means the physical resources in a computer system. While considering the personal computer, all the physical resources in the computer system are used by a single user. Personal computers are normally used by a single user. These are single user systems. So all these resources are utilized for a single user. So there is no need for sharing of any resources. So the operating system in a personal computer may be designed mostly for ease of use, and it should not deal with the resource utilization, because all the utilizations are monopolized, that is, it is being used by a single user, so it need not bother about resource utilization. So from the user's point of view, for a personal computer, the operating system should concern only about maximizing the work that is done by the user. That is, it should concentrate on the performance, increasing the performance level of the system. That is, all the resources are used by a single user, so it need not bother about the resource utilization. But for a mainframe or a mini computer, one user may use the terminal while others may be accessing the same computer through other terminals. So in such cases of connected systems, mainframe or mini computer connected systems, multiple users are making use of the system simultaneously. So these users share resources and may exchange informations. So there is a need for resource sharing as well as file sharing, etc. So the operating system in such cases are designed to maximize resource utilization, because the same physical resources are used by multiple users simultaneously at the same time. So operating systems in such cases must concentrate on maximizing the resource utilization. So in that way, the operating system in mainframe or many computers are designed for maximum utilization of resources, because it should assure that all available CPU time, memory and IO are used efficiently, and that no individual user takes more than his or her fair share. And for workstations connected to networks of other workstations and servers, these users have dedicated resources, but they also share resources such as networking and servers, including the file, compute and print servers. So the operating system in this workstations are designed to compromise between individual usability and resource utilization. But considering the mobile computers or smartphones or tablets, these are also used by a single user. So in this case, the operating system facilitates better user interaction with the system, or it may provide better performance, assure better performance for the user. So in this case, from the user point of view, the operating system functionalities varies. So basic functionalities of the operating system are to provide ease of use, easy interaction of user with the system, and it should provide a better platform for the working of all the application programs. Next, from the system view, from the computer's point of view, the operating system is a program most intimately involved with the hardware. So in this context, we can view the operating system as a resource allocator. So from the system view or from the computer's point of view, operating system is basically a resource allocator as well as a control program. Operating system is also a software. It provides resource allocation and also it acts as a control program, because it should control the activities of the hardware and it should manage the execution of user programs, and it should manage the resource sharing activities also. So it can be viewed as a resource allocator and a control program. Computer system, as we said earlier, a computer system has many resources that may be required to solve a problem. CPU time, memory space, file storage space, IO device, etc. These are all the resources that is being used in a computer system. So the operating system must act as the manager of these resources. It should decide how to utilize these resources and how to share these resources equally among all the users. Facing all these numerous and possibly conflicting requests for resources, the operating system must decide how to allocate these resources to specific programs and users so that it can operate the computer system efficiently and fairly. So the operating system act as a resource allocator and as well as it acts as a control program. A control program that manages the execution of all user programs to prevent errors and improper use of the computer. So basically, from the system point of view, an operating system works as a resource allocator and a control program, because it should manage all the resource sharing activities and it should manage all the execution of user programs in such a way that it should prevent errors and improper use of computer. From the user's point of view, Operating system should provide easy interaction with the system for the user, and it should provide an interaction between intermediary between the user and the hardware. From the system point of view, it must manage the execution of the user programs as well as the resource allocation process. From this basis, we can define a operating system as operating system is the program that is running all the time on a computer. Usually it is called as a kernel. So it is running all the time in a computer, and it provides the basis for all the execution of programs, and it provides the basis for the management of all the resources in a computer. Along with the kernel, there are other two types of programs. There is system programs and the application programs that we have discussed earlier about the system programs and the application programs. So the operating systems, there is a need for operating system because the operating systems exist because they offer a reasonable way to solve the problem of creating a usable computer system. The main aim of computer systems is to execute user programs and for solving user problems in a easier way. Computer hardware is also constructed towards this goal for solving the user problems. But since hardware alone cannot be used for this purpose, or it alone is not particularly easy to use, application programs are developed. So application programs are developed for easy use of the hardwares, and these programs require certain common operations such as those controlling the I/O devices, and the common functions of controlling and allocating resources are then brought together into one piece of software that is called the operating system. Okay, so this is the definition of operating system. So it provides an intermediary between the user and the system. In some cases, for example, in mobile operating systems, the mobile operating systems include a middleware also along with the kernel. As we said, operating system called as a kernel, it is always running inside a computer system. But for some systems, for example in mobile operating systems, it often include not only a core kernel but also a middleware. A middleware is a set of software frameworks that provide additional services to the application developers. For example, it may include for some Android phones or Apple mobile phones may make use of advanced application development. For this purpose, it includes a middleware. Along with the kernel, it includes a middleware operating system also. That is to provide features along with more features that supports the database, multimedia and graphics. So I think you are clear with the operating system. So we shall continue on the next class. Thank you.